All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning and hope you had a great day yesterday. So, good morning and happy Friday as we finish this week of trading here. So, before we get started, good morning,
Good
Norm. How you
morning,
doing
buddy.
today?
I can't hear you. I don't know if anybody else can.
Okay, so it looks like you cannot. Let me check a few things here, make sure everything is in line. All right, can you guys hear me okay on YouTube? I'm just restarting the other main chat room because they cannot hear me right now. Just want to confirm you guys can hear me okay. Hey Norm, how about now? Can you hear me?
Yep,
All
loud
right,
and clear.
excellent. All right, perfect. All right, guys. So as we're saying, good morning. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing day yesterday. Hope you're having a good morning so far. So let's get to it, guys. See what we had in play here. We had quite a bit of a list. Let me share my screen with you folks. All right, here we go. So we had a little bit in play here that was actually pretty nice. I mean, you didn't need to look too far further out from our list. Twitter, I mean, was one of the ones that a lot of us took a trade on, and the majority of us made our day with that one trade on Twitter. So we'll start with this one, UIS. This was on our list. I kept it on here, but the pre-market action was, the activity was horrible. There was not really a lot of volume. The way it was trading, the price action was really, really bad. So again, just nothing to watch on there. I really should have switched it for something else, but a lot of my focus was on Twitter, as many of us did have our, all our eyes on this one yesterday. Let's just take a quick look on what made Twitter so interesting for us as opening trade. So just want to go back and take a look at the pre-market. First of all, they had an amazing pre-market, and if you look at the pre-market, they had a real struggle trying to get above this 3650 at the pre-market here. Again, you can see several times testing that at the open. They completely just blast through that 3650 takeoff. Volume comes in nicely. You don't even get any pullback on it. Look at this first 1 minute. Look at the second, the third. It just continues on up with a very nice uptrend. So a lot of us took this trade. I got in with Brian because Brian got in here. This is not my typical trade. And Norm, I think you got in right after that as well. So not my typical trade. I usually try to wait 5 minutes, but this one had everything going for a great possible breakout once it broke this 3650. So it took was real nice, popped up nicely. His resistance here at 3840, and around this area, I took everything out, not expecting that this thing was going to continue as it did. I thought from here it's going to actually give us a bit of a pullback because it seemed pretty extended on the 5. So I was expecting that we're going to get something at least midway here towards the VWAP. Not the case, guys. This thing holds nicely here. This could have been another great entry, another possible ad for anyone taking this trade in that type of and looking in for that type of bounce here. And you can see how beautifully this thing goes all the way up, almost up to 39.62. So again, Twitter yesterday, amazing trade with a good catalyst behind it, popping up real nice. Let's look at BMY again after Twitter, guys. I didn't really look at a lot of the other price action. This price action here was very choppy, guys. Again, it just didn't trade well at all. This is a stock that we have traded in the past, but yesterday was just not clean at all. Very choppy up and down, and also just again you can see there's no patterns really forming on there. Here is Tesla. Tesla continues to just do these wild moves. Yesterday opened up choppy for the first 30 minutes. Just didn't really have a direction. Had a 10 times better pre-market activity. Probably one of the best pre-market activities that we've seen out of Tesla. And then right on here, you can see how this thing, again, just kind of, I don't want to say wedges into a point here because, again, this is pretty choppy, but it does hold its moving averages and it squeezes above the high of the day. And this is when the fun started. Volume comes in and just look at these candles taking off all the way from 710 up to 765. But Tesla is becoming, difficult to trade, guys. It's not an easy stock to trade. So a lot of very big moves unexpectedly. Here it comes right back down, and also you can see it finds a base and then goes back up again. So again, just Tesla has really been all over the place. WWE, I was looking at this one. This one had a good pre-market, pre-market activity, but also had a good open as well. But again, it just didn't look all that clean for opening range breakup. But it turned out to be actually very, very nice. You can see here it came down, gave you a pullback. From there, it took off nicely all the way up to 48. So Again, did not expect this move. The price action was a little bit slower, obviously, than Twitter. But if anyone that took this trade here, this was a beautiful trade, guys. AMD also sold off a lot at the pre-market open. I thought it was not going to sell off anymore. But at the open, nice, beautiful open range breakdown with a very beautiful pullback. If I was not in Twitter, this is the type of trade that I look for, guys. It's a beautiful opening range on the 5. You get a beautiful pullback on the next 5-minute opening candle. Right, pulls up. It hits the VWAP, then comes right back down. That's exactly the type of trade that I like. And then you're taking profits on the way down here. And then one thing to always keep in mind, the minute you start seeing signs of strength on something that is so extended, right? On here, the first sign is this one obviously pops up, closes on the green candle. You still got a great entry here. You want to, obviously take some partials out. You want to wait. The next candle opens up and you don't make a new low or even anywhere close to this base here. That's not a good indication. That's a sign to jump out of this here. Let's look at some of the possibles. We had MU. I didn't really look at the price section. PBR, I had this one on here also. I think Brian was looking at this as well, but they didn't really do much. Very choppy. FNKO, I know a lot of you guys were watching this, but this also was pure chop. And QCOM was nice, actually, guys. QCOM was another one that could have been. I should have switched QCOM for UIS. This was also one that traded very, very well. All right, guys, that is what we had yesterday. Norm, what do we have on the SPY? We're hitting all-time high yesterday. What's going on today? Any potential news for this Friday?
Yeah. So right now we've flirted with going green a couple of times. We've been red pretty much all the morning. We're down just about 1/3% on some pretty heavy volume for the SPY. Right at the bottom of the hour, 8 minutes ago at 8:30 Eastern, January employment numbers came out. So non-farm payrolls increased by 206,000 versus an estimate of 150, also up from December's number at 139. So a strong number there. The non-farms came out at 225 versus a 160 estimate and 145 in December. As well, the unemployment ticked up just a hair from 3.5 to 3.6. So more people coming to the workforce is a lot of what that is. And the number came out stronger than expected. My guess is the market's dropping, a little concern over interest rates staying where they are or going down anymore. And they're concerned with that there might be inflation. The Fed might drive them up a little bit. I don't know. I don't see that happening, but we'll see. What else do we have? Obviously, a ton of earnings still going on. This has been a huge week for earnings. There's a lot of them in our gappers. We'll go over that in a few minutes. We've got wholesale inventories coming out at 10 a.m. And that's about it, buddy.
All right, excellent. So let's get to this list we have here. Let's start with pins, PINS this morning. This one is has some good volume, guys. 1.5 million shares traded today. They are up 19% this morning, so quite a bit here. Nice big gap up on a PINS. So Norm, this one I am assuming they got some good news on earnings. Looks like.
Yeah, they killed their earnings last night. They added way more users than anybody had expected, and they had good outlook as well. So just a whole bunch of good news coming out of Pinterest.
All right,
A
excellent.
lot of these, and there's one or two more in here in the gappers this morning, like Uber that we'll hit
Mm-hmm.
in just a second. That they were IPOs, recent IPOs that have kind of been hammered and are really starting to pop up pretty well now since they bottomed.
Excellent. Let's look next. We have YTEN this morning. YTEN. Let's see what's going
This
on
one's
there.
garbage. It's
Yeah.
a 1-for-40 stock split to avoid being delisted on Nasdaq. So
Oof. Ouch. So
nothing to see here.
let's skip that. Down next over to Uber. So Uber has been very interesting the last couple of days as well. Aside from gapping up today, the last couple of weeks they've been breaking out nicely. So you notice how every time they kind of consolidate, they kind of do higher highs. I'm sorry, higher lows at the bottom, and then they break out. We've seen that plenty of times. Right on here, you had a dip, but also broke out. So again, we've seen that quite a bit from Uber. We had a very big move here, and also the last couple of days we were kind of banging our heads on this 37. Also broke out of that nicely about 2-3 days ago, and today now we're gapping up. Looks like 6.8 this morning. So give us a story on Uber. What's going on with these guys? News as well.
Yep, they reported earnings last night. Their revenue was a little bit shy of what the street had expected, but their loss was was not as bad as had been expected. And also, one of the things that has hit this ever since it came public was fear that they'll never be profitable. And the CEO came out yesterday, gave guidance, and said that originally it was like 2021, 2022 that the company was trying to be profitable. CEO says he expects to be profitable fourth quarter of this year. So that guidance has really helped fuel this move up this morning.
All right, excellent. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this one, guys. Some good volume on this as well, 2.6. So tons of volume for Uber in the pre-market. Here is Lyft right under Uber. So we have 136,000 on this one, up 3.6. Does Lyft have any news, or it's just kind of like a play with Uber?
Sympathy move.
Sympathy
Yeah,
move, yeah.
sympathy move on Uber. And one thing more to note on Uber, there have just been a slew of upgrades coming this morning as well. I'm not going to go through all of them,
Mm-hmm.
but a number of price target increases and upgrades.
Excellent, guys. So for Lyft, I'm going to move it down here because even if you look at the daily right now, yeah, they're gapping up a little bit here, about 3.6, but they don't have a great pre-market activity. Also, they're kind of stuck within this consolidation chop here on the daily. So we'll move it down to our secondary list. I'd rather watch Uber. They are the ones with the actual news and gapping up nicely this morning with some really good volume. Let's take a look at ABBV this morning, see what they are up to. So this one right now gapping up 3.1 has a very interesting daily chart. So we had a nice big drop all the way down to 81, found some kind of base in here, and now we've been crawling our way out of this big drop here. So we're right at an area of resistance, so that's good. I like the fact that daily's come right back up and installing here. Good pre-market activity right now. Now this stock doesn't trade very well, but when it is in play, we have taken some good opportunities on it. Today looks like to be one of those days with some good volume, 265. Norm, what we have on ABBV?
Yeah, they came out with earnings this morning. And so this, we don't deal with fundamentals. I'm going to mention it, but it really
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with day trading. I'm just, it's kind of I'll get to my point in a second, but
Yeah.
the PE ratio on this for a clothing manufacturer is exceptionally high. It's really been traded and invested in as a growth company. And when a company like that comes out and says they're going to have issues, not grow as fast, they get hit really hard. That's what's going on. That's what's going on here. They did report earnings this morning. Their earnings came in a little bit light. Their revenue came in a little bit better than expected. But the big thing was they mentioned that the coronavirus is going to be a material impact to their 2020 earnings. I think this is kind of a status brand in China.
Mm-hmm.
And if people aren't going outside and the economy's slowing down, it's going to hit them.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this one, guys. Again, the day looks very interesting. Nice big drop here. So we'll see how that turns out at the open. Let's take a look at SBGL. This one comes up in our list quite a bit. SBGL doesn't look all that well for the most part. Let's see what it looks like today. Again, also not looking great.
Were you talking about AbbVie or Goose? I skipped over to Goose. I screwed up. I apologize.
Uh,
I was talking about Goose just a second ago.
oh, okay.
AbbVie came in. So let me back up, and thank you, Peter, for pointing that out. I just saw instead of GOOS, I guess I saw the two same middle letters and went off on a different stock.
Oh,
So I've
good. Oh,
already
good.
given you the thing for Goose. You can just skip me on that one.
All right.
AbbVie came out. They had a great guidance and beat their earnings number. So that's what's going on. That's what happened with AbbVie.
Gotcha, man.
They came in a little light on revenue, but their guidance made up for it.
Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, so let's take a look at SBGL next. Actually, let's put Goose on here since we just kind of talked about that one. So we'll put that on here. This one has a 425,000. Now this one is down 8.3 this morning. This one we have traded in the past quite a bit as well. So definitely worth watching what we're going to get out of this one. Good pre-market activity at the moment. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. Let's head back up to SBGL. This one this morning, usually on our list, guys, does not trade very well. Garbage stock. Look at the pre-market activity. Nothing's happening here. Look at the daily too. The daily, you can tell when you have these weird candles, they're very small. They don't move much. The wicks are usually bigger than the candles, the body of the candles themselves. Just look down at the volume. You can see the lighter volume, usually a garbage stock. So we'll get rid of this one.
South African gold miner, so it's got a couple of different hits against it on top of it, all of that.
Yeah. Next, we have GILD. So this one's been the talk of this week, man. This has been on this list quite a bit. Very active. You can see the
Yep.
volume over the last couple of days hitting some over average highs on there. So today we are gapping up 2%. Doesn't have the best pre-market activity, guys. Not one that's great for day trading. The only reason this is popping up is because of the coronavirus and their possible a play not having a cure for this. That's correct, Norm? I know you're a long-term holder of this stock here.
Yeah, and it's done nothing as I've mentioned. So all that's happened is my dividends and reinvested and
Mm-hmm.
built me a larger crap position. Um, yeah, so they have a drug that's an antiviral. That's what they specialize in. It has cured a couple of patients, one or two, they believe, of the coronavirus in the United States. They sent over several hundred doses of this to China, which are running expedited tests against the placebo. Currently, that started yesterday or the day before. Expect results to come out of that pretty soon. I think some of the action, especially the candle we got yesterday and the big pop, because there was no official news, there are rumors coming out that this drug is working with the sick patients that it's being tested on. Just rumors. So if word comes out or there's some announcement on this, I expect it. Oh, maybe today, maybe early next week.
Mm-hmm.
Get a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of news. This one could really pop.
Yeah, get a nice little pop on this one. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this. For actual play, it's really not a great day trading stock. But if that news break out, we're able to catch it in time with whether the squawk or radio or news alerts. That could be a good play to take a quick entry to get an opportunity there. So today I'll take it off for now. FNF this morning. This one we have 168,000 shares traded. This is down 2.1. Not a great pre-market activity, guys. This is not looking pretty choppy. It is a nicey stock, so hopefully this can get better. Right now, also if you look at the daily seems very choppy as well. It doesn't have the best daily chart in the last couple of days. So we'll keep it on here for now. If this does not get better, we'll replace it or take it off this list with something and replace it with something else. Here
Yeah,
is
they're
yeah.
acquiring. I think this is on them acquiring a subsidiary of these
Oh,
of
is that what it
themselves or
is?
something. It's something weird. Yeah, they're the acquirer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something like that. I really don't have any interest in this one myself because we've got a really good list this morning.
Yeah, we really do. So I'm just gonna take this one out so we don't waste any time on it. And let's head down right to Tesla. So again, Tesla guys, we had a great pre-market activity day yesterday. The pre-market this morning is not as great. We do have some good volume on it. It is down 2.7 on the daily though. It looks like we might be kind of getting into a little downtrend here, but we're still somewhat holding this moving average. We talked about that yesterday. This thing came right down to its moving average, and then it did recover a bit. Didn't hold as strong once it hit that 800. Again, here we're probably going to come down and test this moving average. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Well, if we get to that 700, are we going to hold here? So Tesla is great, guys. Just be cautious. It's a very unpredictable stock in the last couple of days. We had we had the euphoria coming out here, taking off nicely. Now it's a situation where you just don't know what's going to do next. So just be cautious on this type of stock. Let's look at CRON this morning. They have 100,000 shares traded. They are gapping down 3%. Pre-market's not looking all that great yet, but hopefully the volume is starting to build up here. Now, CRN, guys, a stock that we have traded plenty of times in the past when it is in play. Norm, is there any specific news, or we just down a little bit because of the SPY this morning?
I have not dug into the weed stocks this morning. I
Yep,
apologize.
no worries.
These just popped up on the gappers list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know I believe one or two of them had earnings.
Yep,
So
yep.
I apologize. I'll come back with tea in just a minute.
Yep, no worries, man. Let's look at CGC also in that same pile. Let's see what's going on here. They are down 5.9. CGC is the better one out of all of these. They tend to have a more volume and trade a lot cleaner. They are down 6% with 224,000 shares traded in a good pre-market activity right now. Also, I like the fact that the price
So,
action is kind of barely holding on to this level that we actually had here before, this 1990. So we'll see what that does there. Go ahead, Norm.
ACB, which is probably it's been the worst of the cannabis stocks, and these have had a pretty rough uh, year going back
Yeah, yeah.
with some big drops. ACB is rumored to be laying off a chunk of their workforce,
Oof.
just showing some more weakness in here. So I think that's why we're getting these sympathy moves in the other ones. ACB isn't showing up because it's a penny stock,
Mm-hmm.
not shortable. there's no reason to trade it at $1.20 or whatever. It's probably going to go to zero and go out of business. But that's what these others are trading off of, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, and most likely it's probably gonna be very, very difficult to find stocks to short on this one, guys. So again, you might not want to waste your bandwidth looking at this type of stock. Let's take a look at AGTC this morning. I think we looked at this one before in the recent days. Yeah, so this is one that's been kind of been all over the place, guys. A lower price stock is, I don't believe it's a low flow stock if I'm not. Yes, 18 million shares flow, so it's borderline. We like to look at anything under 20 million. Usually, you want to consider a low flow stock. This one with the price action right now, and also with the daily chart, not a great
It's
stock to watch.
it's on a secondary as well.
Oh
So
yeah, so even that's top of that, not even worth putting on our list. So we'll get rid of that one. Here is Goose we had already. We looked at this one next. ZGNX. This morning, wow, they are down 30%. That's a nice big drop on these guys. Volume 209. Pre-market activity at the moment starting to look okay. Could use better volume. Again, a lot of the volume looks like it's probably a couple of block trades here, but again, this one is down quite a bit. No, what's going on today with this?
I wish I had an answer for you, man.
Yeah.
They report earnings at the end of this month. They
Mm-hmm.
got an upgrade, or excuse me, they got a price target downgrade out of Needham this morning, which I think is being hit. Yesterday, they reported some positive drug results. So just, yeah,
Wow, that's
they're getting hammered this morning. If I can find anything more detailed, I'll point it
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Just
yeah. This is definitely, we'll keep an eye on this one, man. It doesn't make no sense. You have some positive news and you're down 30% this morning. Definitely something's up. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Next, we have MYGN. This one on here is also down quite a bit, 30% as well. So we have had some levels here in the past before. So this thing, oh man, interesting daily. So we had a nice little run up here. Gap down, looks like a 30% as well. Now we crawled out of that situation, looks like, and then we are gapping down another 30%. So again, a very funny stock here on the daily as well. Pre-market doesn't look all that great, guys. Hopefully it can start to get better. But no, just another one that's dropping down quite a bit. What's the situation on this one?
yeah, they're getting hammered on earnings this morning.
Mm.
Um, so uh, they had earnings that they released last night. They missed earnings and revenue estimates, so they're getting hammered. Not too uncommon in this one. This has been a weird stock. If you look at a daily chart going back about a year, you'll see these massive gaps down,
Oh
and then it
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
comes back up. It's a very weird chart.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this day here. I mean, this is interesting. Goes up, pops up
Yeah.
really nice, and probably a 50% gap down there. So yeah, so interesting stock here, MYGN. I know we have looked at it in the past because we do have some levels on here. Not sure, can't recall how the intraday trade, so we'll keep an eye on it, and then we'll see how that plays out. All right, guys, let's see what you guys have on your end. Let's start here with the chat room. What do you guys like this morning? CGNX downgrade. Thank you, Nick. Yep. What else we have? ATVI. Let's take a look at that. ATVI was great. I believe in the middle of last year, that one traded very nice. Right in this era, we had several stuff going on with the gaming stocks, and this was very good to trade. We had some really good moves on this one. So today they are up a 1.8. Not a lot of volume right now, but I do like the daily. I see what you're looking at here. The daily looks great. Possible breakout out of this above this 62 on this nice gap up. But again, if they're not in play, this stock can be very, very choppy, guys, and the volume could be very, very light. So just be aware that. Right now, I'm not seeing anything too exciting to add to our list. Let's take a look at LK. So let's see what LK is up to. So LK has been on fire over the last 2-3 weeks or so. We've been taking advantage of that, but today they are not doing all that much. They do have some volume, but they're pretty flat within this area right now, right? We're not getting any pop, any gap up or down at the moment. It looks like they're just barely going to make maybe down 2%. And if they can get below this 33.75, you do have some room over here to hit some of these levels, 31.25. And we've seen this. I don't think we're going to get that type of drop there, but we've seen what happened there when we had this drop here in the rebound. So again, looks interesting. You know, it could be a good one. Could be a good one. Let's put it on here because if it gets going, it can actually be a nice little morning pre-market there if it can develop that. Let's look at eBay. What do we have on eBay here? So eBay we looked at a couple of days ago. So eBay's down 5.7. It has volume 155,000, but the pre-market is it's just brutal, guys. Not a great pre-market activity right now. On the daily itself, we saw the breakout here. They had some positive news, beautiful breakout, and this just gave it all back today for some reason. So I'm not sure what the news is on eBay, but
There
again,
was
yeah.
there was a company looking to possibly acquire them, and that's fallen apart. So that's why they're dropping on that news.
Gotcha. So again, right here, guys, I don't see anything all that great right now. It could get better. This will be a good one for a turbo breakup or turbo breakdown. We can throw it on here, see if it gets better. But right now, it's just the pre-market. It's not looking all that great. Let's see what we have. Yeah, so eBay. I don't think we skipped over. I think it's just popped up now because it's starting to get volume. Like this thing is probably gonna get a lot bigger. Let's move this down. So if something else pops up here that looks good, we'll take a look at it. All right, TTWO. TTWO, let's see what we have here. So in this one, we're gapping down 9.3. Not the best pre-market, and the volume is a little bit lighter, only 68,000. So you could definitely take a look at it and let us know if it gets any better. But right now, it doesn't look all that great, so I'm not going to watch this one at the moment. Also, this stock we have traded in the past. It is a little more difficult to trade, guys. It can be a little bit choppy. So make sure you got volume. If you don't got great volume on it, it can be a very tough stock to trade. SYNA. This one this morning is gapping up nicely.
Take two missed on earnings
Yep.
last night, so that's why it's down. I probably will have this on my secondary.
Yeah. Also, they missed earnings yesterday on this one, so this could be, if they missed earnings, that could be a good catalyst for it. Again, it has to have something because a few times we watched it without nothing, it doesn't really do much. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Next, we have we looked at eBay SYNA. So SYNA this morning. All right, so this is gapping up 14%. The volume is 78 and climbing. So it does have some potential. No, what's the news on this one, and why are we gapping up this morning? If you haven't had a chance to look at this yet.
Yeah, Synaptics had earnings last night. They blew out.
Okay. All right, so worth watching, guys. I'm going to throw it on here. This list is getting a little bit long. I don't think we'll be able to watch everything on here, but we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. Here is Microsoft. Microsoft has continued to just make new highs, guys. Here again, the daily chart looks very interesting. I don't really like much the pre-market activity right now. 144,000 shares traded, but right now the pre-market is pretty it's pretty crappy. But I do like the daily here. If we can break out as 184, this can definitely get going. So oh man, I want to add it on here, but I know I'm have too much, even as a possible. But we'll do Microsoft here. And last one, Twitter. We'll check what our YouTube friends have as well. Let's look at Twitter here. So Twitter could be a good continuation play today. We'll put Twitter on here. Don't worry, guys. We'll make this list smaller for sure. We're not going to keep all the stocks in play. I just want to see what YouTube has. So eBay, we looked at TTWO. We have looked at as well. Twitter, ATVI earnings. We have that on this list here. Actually, we looked at it, but didn't have a lot of volume, so we took that one off. Let's look at MYO. MYO is one that we have looked at in the past, but this doesn't trade very well, so I'm not going to have this on my list. This is a funny trading stock. Just look at the daily. You see that this type of action, I just don't want to have no part of it. We have some really good stocks that are trading here today. All right, folks, let's get over to announcements, and then we're going to hop on back to this list to fine tune it a bit.
All right, guys. We are a week away from Valentine's Day, trying to remind all the men in the room so it doesn't sneak up on you next Friday and you get in trouble for it with your girlfriend or wife or significant other of whatever type it is. So anyway, you can use the promo code. So because we love you, you can use the promo code LOVE for a 40% off discount of a lifetime membership, the single payment option, not the installment deal. BBT forum membership. Just want to remind you guys, if you're not a member of BBT, this does not apply if you have any kind of our membership with BBT already. But if you don't and you'd like to get in the forums, there's a lot of information there. It's all free. You can sign up for a forum membership. There's no cost to that. ABL can post the link to do that. Also, in the chat room, we've changed the callouts tab to options. A lot of people have been trading options, talking about options. There's a specific tab for talking about that. Upcoming webinars, Jonathan Katz, I believe, was posted yesterday. Carlos, is that correct?
Yep, that is correct.
Awesome. It should be in the media center for lifetime members next week. And I tweeted this out last night, guys. Mike Bellafiore, we're going to have next week with S&B Capital. They had an S&B yesterday put out an excellent video on scalping, and if you watch it and you look at the professional trader that's detailing his successful scalp playbook, I think it's probably what most closely mimics how a lot of us here trade, specifically Andrew, myself, Brian, Carlos. Many of us are, volatility, volume, breakout scalpers and such. And a great video if you haven't watched it. If you need the link to it, you can check out my Twitter feed at NormBBT. It is in there. It's maybe one or two posts down. So it's easy to find, and the YouTube link's on there. On the 19th and 26th, we're going to have Ed Martin, Average Joe Trader, talking about trend trading, two-part series on that. Upcoming meetups, the New York one isn't on here, Carlos. This is not the newest sheet, but what's the date on that New York meetup, Midtown Manhattan?
Yeah, Friday, February 21st is the meetup on Midtown Manhattan. We're still finding out the location, so that's the place.
Awesome. 2 weeks from today. So go see. Carlos will be there, I'm sure. Ryan will probably be there. Andrew will be there. Midtown Manhattan on Friday, February 21st, 2 weeks from today. He's also trying to get to Dubai at some point this month, so check out ABL's link to the forum post. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, haven't been in the room, like to give it a shot, see if it's a fit for you, you can do so at a discount with the promo code PREMARKET24. That's PREMARKET24. Does not auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. And as I already mentioned, our Twitter handles are at Bearbull Traders, at Carlos M BBT, and at Norm BBT. Back to you, buddy.
All right, thank you very much, man. All right, let's get to this list, guys. We got quite a bit on here we have to go through. I'm gonna fine tune this as best as possible. Let's start over here with pins. So pins I like, it is gapping up nicely. They have some good. They killed their earnings yesterday, so it's definitely worth watching. Here we have Uber. Uber's got some great pre-market activity as well, guys. It's breaking out of this 39. I also want to watch that one. ABBV, I like the fact that they came up. We're sitting right against up this resistance area here. So hopefully we continue to break out of that. Definitely want to keep an eye on that. Goose is good too. It's got a good pre-market activity. Tesla, you know what? Today I might not watch Tesla, guys, because I know I'm not going to trade it. I think we have some other great stocks that are going to be better to watch. We'll keep it on here. We'll do some levels, but most likely I'm not going to watch Tesla if I have to get it down to 6. CRON, I'm not gonna put on my list, guys. Again, I'm just not sure what's going on with these stocks. It doesn't look all that great in the pre-market activity at the moment as well, so I'm gonna remove that one from this list. Let's head down to CGC. CGC is probably the best one to watch out of the POS stocks. So this one actually has a more decent pre-market activity, has better volume, down 5.9. Definitely worth watching. CGNX, this one, again, pre-market starting to get going here, guys. I do love this drop. When you get this type of drop, you are going to get some action one way or the other, so I want to keep this on my list. MYGN, this one also again has a very big drop here. I don't like the pre-market action as much, and a few times this stock doesn't trade very well, but this is a big drop, and you can tell here the volume is very light as well. Today might be a day where we get more volume, so what we'll do is actually, we'll put this down as a possible down here, because right now it really needs to get a lot of volume for it to be one of our stocks that we like to watch. Here is LK. LK this morning could be great also if it loses some of these levels. You do have some room to run here, 32.30, and also this 26.50 down there. That could be exciting, so I want to keep an eye on that one. We'll do some levels for it, and then as possible, let's get rid of some of these. I like Microsoft. It's been doing very well. SYNA doesn't have volume right now. It has a beautiful gap up, guys. I hate to remove it, but we just need to make a little bit of space. eBay we have on here. Also another one doesn't have great pre-market activity. Nice gap down 5.7, but this thing might just chop around now, right? This is the area where it was trading at before, a couple of days ago, before they had a possible news of a buyout or merging with someone. Again, now it's just back to regular trading, so I'm not sure if we're going to get anything out of that. If we do, this is why we have our trade idea scanners, guys, to help us out, right? So we keep an eye on that, and if something comes up there, if eBay starts lighting the scanners up, we can always tune into it. Here is Lyft. So I'd rather watch Uber. I think Uber is the one that's in play today. Lyft is just moving based on some sympathy because of Uber. So we'll remove this one. Uber has definitely, again, just look at the pre-market activity right now. This is a great pre-market activity. Look at the volume. We're going to hit 3 million shares pretty soon here. TTWO, this one. Again, they have earnings, so this has the potential to lose this area that is holding on to now, so that's good for a possible. Twitter is good for a possible. MYGN. I love the gap down here. This is good for a possible as well. So again, we still have a lot, but at least we're able to fine tune some of the stuff on here, and we'll continue to do that as we get closer to the 9:15 time frame. Let's get into some levels. Let's look at PINS this morning. So we do have a level here, high of the pre-market 27.80, low of the pre-market sitting at 26.50. We'll mark both of those down. And then if we go into this area, pins, by the way, if you look closely, they don't have the best daily chart, right? They seem to be very choppy at most times, but when they are in play, they're pretty good to watch and trade. Here we have the bottom of this consolidation period. We're gonna put 24.79. You can see that right on there. So we'll put that down. Then below that, we do have this pop over here at 24.02. So we'll put that on there, 24.02. Then from there, you have the bottom, the highs and lows, last two trading days and previous day close. Let's look at below, above 27.82, our high of our pre-market, which look how beautiful that high of the pre-market is, right? 27.82. You have the support happening here, breaks down now, uses that as resistance. You can see here several times, at least twice, testing that 27.82 nicely. Above that, you have another level right on here as well. If you draw a line right across that, looks like around 30.50 or so. You have a great level of support and resistance as well. So mark that 30.40. Two on there, very clean level of support and resistance. We've got the breakdown, the retest cannot break through, it breaks down right back to that 27.82. That's a very, very good strong level there. So that's what we have on pins. Pre-market activity looks great, guys. Let's see what it does in here. We got two very good pre-market highs and lows. Hopefully, this thing can pick a direction and trade very nicely once the market opens. Uber, guys, has a nice little pop here, giving some back a little bit, heading back down towards the high from 2 days ago, which is around 39 or so, which is right at the pre-market low at the moment. Our high of the pre-market sitting at 40.29, so we'll mark that down. Above this, we do have, let's see what we got going on here. Look at that 28 playing real nice here with some of these days, so that's good. Above that, major levels, we have this one here. This is 42.80, 85 is a major one. You can see the support happening here over a range of couple of days. Within here, this is chop. This is pure chop. So there's not a good significant major level in this area. So I'm not going to put anything on there. In that case, you could just look at levels like the 42, the whole dollar numbers, right? Put 42 if you like on there. Mark down 41. 41 could be also an area you're going to have some change in direction. But as far as level, based on the daily, in here, you're not going to find anything. Good levels will be the ones, as we mentioned before, that you see several days clearly bouncing off and using it as a major support and resistance. ABBV this morning, pre-market is it's got some volume, not as active, right? The volume has died down a little bit here. 8 o'clock looked great. We have kind of died down a bit, so hopefully that can continue to pick up. What I like about this stock here is that we're really holding right. The price action is right at a level of resistance. We'll mark the high of it at 90.49, but if you look 90.49, this has been resistance, going back even to November, right on here. Then we had all December just trying to break out of this area, and we're not able to, right? Then we lost it here. We come right back up. We're right at that level one more time. If we can break from that, we know we can at least get to 92. Hopefully, if we get some momentum, 92, 91, 87. So we do have some nice play that we can get up there. Not sure if this is all-time high. I don't believe it is. I think we've been higher than this on this stock. But again, I'm not sure if I'm mistaken with something else. Yeah, we've been higher. So above that 91.87, you can possibly have another level here at 95. So we'll mark that down. But going back to our chart here on the daily, towards the bottom, guys, you got plenty highs and lows from the last two trading days. Again, this is a beautiful daily over here. I like the fact we're right up against this area of resistance. We can break out of that. That would be nice. Remember Twitter yesterday? Twitter did the same thing. Kind of hung out around that 36.50, trying to break that. At the open, dipped down just a little bit and then took off with a lot of volume. That's the type of play I'll be looking for this if this stays, banging his head against a 90.47. Here is a Goose at the moment, GOOS. Again, great pre-market activity, guys. We got a nice range on here with some really good volume, down 5.4 this morning. So above the price action now, around above 31.50, you do have plenty of levels of resistance. You have moving averages, previous day close. I don't think you need to add anything in this area. There's plenty on there for you already. Towards the bottom, though, you do want to mark down 29.55, this nice little dip here, changing direction. And then the low of the pre-market all the way down at 28.09. So we'll see. I don't think this thing wants to come back down to test these levels, 29.55 or 29 or 28.09. So I'm not going to go down and look for more levels down there. I think right now this thing is trying to go red to green at the moment. So We'll see. Oh, maybe not. We'll see. Changing direction. Here is Tesla, guys. So Tesla at the moment, I don't think you need to add any more levels. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You're kind of stuck right in the middle here. We got some moving averages coming in, catching up. This thing bounced yesterday from this moving average nicely on the daily, so we can possibly do that today or go red to green. So it can go either direction here on Tesla. I am going to mark down the low of the pre-market, sitting at 723, so we can definitely mark that down just to have that there. But we do have some great levels at the low from the last 2 trading days. Here is CGC, guys. So CGC is one of the better ones to watch this morning on the pot stocks. Again, it trades a lot better, gets more volume, and also the intraday is very clean. Right now, pre-market activity is very nice. We do have a level at 1971, low of the pre-market. Look how that low of the pre-market plays a really nice area of support here over several couple of days. Below that, we do have another great clean level here at 1858. And then below that, it gets a little choppy in here. Not really the best area. You do have some dates on there, but I think 1858 is the level you definitely want to have on your list. Above that, guys, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered. Don't need to add anymore. ZGNX. So this one is I'm on the fence on. Again, it's doesn't have the best pre-market activity, but this drop is real nice, guys. We're down 28% this morning with some decent volume. But definitely worth watching. Low of the pre-market sitting at 35.10. Above that, we have 38, high of the pre-market. And then we've been down here before, right in this area. We had the big gap down. It's so funny how that 37, look how that 37 is this somewhat of support over several days on here, especially when we had this gap down. And also this 35.15, that was the bounce that we had here from in April. We had this huge gap down. So is this thing going to bounce from here and head higher? We'll see. Above the 37.93, clearly this is an area right on here, guys. 40.38. If you draw a line right on, you can see the areas of support and resistance over the bigger moves on this day. Right, we had a drop here. We come back up and we were hesitant to get above that. Then here you have some good support. You dip down below that, very close to that 37.93 as well, right? Very close to that. And you can see another day on here, huge drop here, right to that 40.38 as well. Then the bounce back. So you definitely want to have that level on your chart. Here's LK, guys. So LK at the moment, again, it's pretty choppy right now as far as the daily chart. But as far as the pre-market, you know, it has some potential here. If it can lose some of these levels it has on here, we do have some room to run. Let me remove some of these levels, make this chart a little bit cleaner. Here we go. So towards the top, you got plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Towards the bottom, I'm going to mark down this one right on here, 30.76. And then we're going to mark down 26.84. So that's a perfect 2 levels for LK this morning. Let's look at some possibles. Microsoft. I really like Microsoft, guys. The daily looks very good. It just seems like it wants to break out of this 184. Might not do it today, but we'll keep an eye on this one. If it continues to just bang its head out over that 184. As far as levels, don't need to add anymore, guys. This is all-time high. You have your highs and lows right on here, so this will be good to go. TTWO we have here as a possible. Let's remove some of the levels we have already. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered with all this chop here, so that's all on there for you. High of the pre-market is going to cover the area that's missing here, 117.63, and the low of the pre-market at 114.11 will cover the bottom on here. So we're kind of sitting right in the middle. And I'm actually going to mark this 116 because this 116 is an area of support as well. So I know the price action is on there now, but market, as the price action moves away from that, you want to have that level on there. That 116 is going to be important. So towards the bottom, if we lose this 114, find a good area here. So we have some resistance here of that 114. Then below that, okay, right on here, we have a data at 112.47. So this is it right there. That's your support below that 114. So this is TTWO. Twitter, possible continuation. Let's remove these levels we had yesterday. Highs and lows got you covered. Price action right in the middle at the moment. And actually the price is sitting right at an area where we had some support on this day here before we had a huge gap down. So I'm going to mark that 37.82. Then below that, I think you're pretty much covered on Twitter. I think you need to add a lot of more levels on here. Possible continuation. Had a big day yesterday with a gap up and it was finishing very strong. So we'll see how that does today. MYGM, this one has a very nice gap down, guys. I might not, again, I have it on here because the gap down is great. It's a beautiful gap down of 29-30%. Your levels right now still look very relevant. You have 1971, 2124, 2221, and 2339 are some good levels to keep on this chart right at the moment. So, all right, let's recap, guys. I want to make this a little smaller if I can. So we have pins, we have Uber, which I like very much. ABBV, this one is okay also. Oh, we're gonna move down Tesla down to a possible. So let's move down Tesla. All right, so at least that removes one from our main list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We just got to get rid of one more. LK, I like. CGNX is good. Looks like it wants to break out of this 37, 93. CGC, okay. Goose. Man, it's going to be a tough one. You know what? I'll make a decision as I get closer to 9:30 which I'm going to remove. But this is our watch list for this Friday, guys. Not a bad watch list for Friday. And we got some tons of other stuff on here that I have not looked at yet that are coming up. So we'll check those in a second to see if there's anything good there that can replace any of the ones we have now. But what we have now is a very, very good list with some good volume and some good catalysts capping up or down at the moment. So, Norm, anything that we missed that we should cover?
No, not really. I'm really liking this list this morning.
For a Friday, man, this is a great list, and I'm looking forward to see how how they're gonna play out. Because Friday usually tend to have lesser volume, but right now it looks like any regular day, regular business at the moment.
Did you go over Marvell?
I did not. MRVL, correct?
MR. Yep.
Yeah. See, this one's also interesting, guys. We do have a nice. Do they have earnings? What do they have going on today?
I believe, yeah, they did have earnings. No, they don't have earnings till they got a downgrade out of Cowen for one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got some other news, but I haven't really dug into it. I just noticed it myself, so I'm still working on it. I just didn't know if you'd gone through it.
Yeah, no, we did not look at this one. It's got a good pre-market activity, guys. Got volume is down nicely. Another one that looks well. I'm just putting it here on my possible list, and then we'll go through this list. Okay, I mean I have okay on here, but okay, it's probably one of the least best looking stocks of this bunch. And CGC, I'm not a fan of CGC either. This could be choppy because again, there's just the news is not on them. It's on ACB, and they're just kind of moving along with it. So that actually could be a good reason to drop this down. So we'll see. And also ISO scanners as well. We'll see what our turbo breakup and turbo breakdown bring us this morning. Twitter here is also active, 431, dropping down a bit. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, guys. That is what we have. And guys, thank you for us joining us on YouTube. Remember, we do have that Valentine's promotion in the works, so definitely take a look at that. Visit our website for a lot more information of some of the stuff that we have for our community, and we would love to see you there and chat with you in the forums as well. So take care. It is Friday, guys, so you know what that means. You want to trade well, follow your rules, go into that weekend knowing that that you were disciplined. You're not going to be thinking about some bad decisions you made into that nice Saturday and Sunday morning. So again, you want to have a good weekend. Enjoy with family and friends. And we'll see you guys on Monday, 8:30 Eastern time. Take care.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. Have a great weekend. See you Monday morning.